Good afternoon and welcome to Pakistan Today News from our London studio. I'm Chris Taylor. We begin tonight with escalating tensions in the global energy market. Iran has threatened to completely close the Strait of Hormuz, a critical artery for global oil shipments, following a 48-hour ultimatum issued by U.S. President Donald Trump demanding the reopening of the waterway. The International Energy Agency now warns that this crisis could surpass the severity of the 1970s oil shocks, with global oil supply already dropping by an estimated 11 million barrels per day. Analysts say the disruption is sending shockwaves through energy-dependent economies worldwide, raising fears of prolonged instability. The financial fallout has been immediate. Major markets across Asia, including Tokyo, Seoul, and Hong Kong, witnessed significant sell-offs as investor confidence weakened amid rising geopolitical uncertainty. Key indices such as India's Sensex and Nifty opened sharply lower, reflecting widespread concern. Economists are now warning of a potential period of stagflation, where surging energy prices combine with slowing economic growth and persistent inflation, creating a challenging outlook for global markets. Tensions in the Middle East have also intensified dramatically. Iranian missile strikes targeted southern Israel near a highly sensitive nuclear research facility in Dimona. While Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu described the absence of fatalities as a miracle, more than 100 people were reported injured. Israel has vowed to respond on all fronts, raising concerns that the 4-week-old conflict could expand into a broader regional war. For more on this developing situation, we go to our Islamabad correspondent, Sarah William.
Thank you, Chris. Security analysts here in Islamabad are closely monitoring the rapidly escalating situation in the Middle East, particularly the potential for wider regional involvement. Officials warn that any further disruption in the Strait of Hormuz could have serious economic implications for countries like Pakistan, which rely heavily on imported energy. There are also growing concerns about the safety of overseas workers in the Gulf region, whose remittances are vital to Pakistan's economy. Meanwhile, diplomatic channels remain active, but there is little indication of immediate de-escalation. Back to you, Chris.
Thank you, Sarah. Turning now to the United States, President Trump has ordered immigration and customs enforcement agents to be deployed at major airports across the country. The move is aimed at addressing what the administration describes as security chaos and severe delays caused by an ongoing government shutdown. With many TSA agents working unpaid, operations have been strained, leading to long queues and frustrated travelers. Critics, however, argue that the deployment is politically motivated and may further complicate an already tense situation. In diplomatic developments, Ukrainian and U.S. delegations are meeting in Florida to discuss the next steps toward resolving the ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict. Despite these high-level talks, Russian strikes continue to result in civilian casualties on the ground. Negotiators are under increasing pressure to achieve a breakthrough, particularly as global focus shifts toward the Middle East crisis. Today also marks World Meteorological Day, with the United Nations highlighting the front line of climate action. At the same time, the African Union is observing World Water Day with an emphasis on gender equality and access to water resources. Global leaders have expressed concern that escalating conflicts, particularly in the Middle East, are diverting critical funding away from climate resilience and sustainable water infrastructure projects. Finally, in European politics, socialist candidate Emmanuel Gregoire has secured victory in the Paris mayoral race. His win comes amid heightened political tensions across the continent as far-right leaders convene in Budapest. Gregoire has pledged to focus on urban green initiatives and expand social housing, offering a contrasting vision to the rising conservative movement in Europe. That's all for now. You're watching Pakistan Today News. I'm Chris Taylor.